Hey, Scott here. Again, another upgrade to the boat. Bayliner Element E18. Ours doesn't have the factory depth finder, and our local lake that we'll be in most of the time has some shallow spots that I want to be aware of. So I'm going to be adding the HawkEye DepthTrax to the helm station and start with the stern pad so I don't have to drill a hole into the boat to put this on. So follow along as we do this install. So first, to install the stern pad, I read up the directions. I'm going to go down in this area and I can bring my wire for the transducer up through this drain hole. That way if I ever add smart tabs or something later, it's out of the way for that. So first step is to trace around the pad so we can scuff it up and clean it so we get good adhesive. So I'm going to go right down in here. So there's my spot. They supply a little Scotch-Brite. Fumble. Then an alcohol prep pad to wipe that off. And we'll let that dry. So they suggest using a push pin to peel this cover off because you don't want to mess it up with getting your fingers on it. It will push into place. We'll let that adhesive cure. All right, so now I've got the stern pads good and set. I can install the transducer and run the wire up through this hole and up to the helm station and wire that up. So let's get mounting. The kit comes with a couple different pieces. You've got the mounting bracket. There is a wedge. So this is a little bit of an angle that'll straighten it out. Then we have the bracket that holds the transducer and the transducer. So first, we need to mount the bracket into the transducer mount. Otherwise, once we screw it in, we can't get to it. It just pops in. Then we add the wedge that I already tried out. Give us the right angle. So when it pops down, it will be hanging right here. So I'm just going to mount that right at its lowest level with a couple screws that came with the kit. All right, so next we'll just flip that mount down. Hear it snap in. And there's a little clasp here. We'll put that up. You'll slide the transducer facing forward and then close the clasp. So now we've got that pretty firmly mounted. We can move up to running the cable. All right, so for the cable, I'm coming up through this hole here so I don't drill anything new. And we'll just push this whole bundle up through here. And I'll come back and secure that with a clip or two. Now let's move up to running it inside the hull. Now we'll just use this grommet that's already here and run inside. All right, and the stern pad came with a couple extra little clips and pads, so I'm going to use those to dress this wire in. All right, so I'm going to remove this little bulkhead here so I can get to those wires. So it's just a couple screws and that should pop out of the way, and then we can run our cable up to the front. And I'm just going to route it up and over and connect it to the steering cables. Kind of hard to see, but we need to run over this little tab here to get all the way up front, so we'll keep up with that process. All right, under the captain's seat, finished pulling it all the way through. Now we'll continue running it up into the helm station. To make installation a little easier, I'm going to remove these 4 screws, break that caulking on there so I can pull it out so I can get to the wires and everything. All right, so that's out. Now I can see my wire and the wiring block. So now I'm ready to place the gauge. I've decided it's going to go up here over the element wording. I think I want my phone holder over here on the left side. So using a 2-inch hole saw, which is the same as the back here, I'm going to drill a hole. No going back now. There we go. That was a lot messier than I expected. Let me get that cleaned up. So now we can feed it in, but it's got to go through, get through these slots so this will go on. So I got to be careful how I feed it. All right, there we go. Pop the bezel on. That's going to work nice there. So now I need to finish the connections. Plug in the transducer. Now to figure out the power. All right, after hunting around a bit, I found that everything is always powered on except for the motor. So the purple wire off the ignition key is the switch. I kept the ground to the yellow lead. All right, so let's give it a test. Key on. Found your work. Good. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to install your own depth finder, the biggest issue I had was finding the switch powered lead. Other than that, pretty straightforward. You're going to scratch your hands up in this fiberglass. I should have worn long sleeves. So if you found this video helpful, I hope you'll subscribe, hit the like, share, and check out my other videos in the series on the Bayliner Element boats.
If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for new video notifications, like, comment, and share. There's also a link below to any tools or products used during this video.